Leaders in D.C. warn the district is facing a billion-dollar deficit over the next 3 years, and they're going to have to find a place to make some cuts.
WUSA 9's Jess Arnold is taking a look at where we might see these cuts. She is live outside the Wilson building, where the council will continue oversight hearings today. And Jess, families are worried about these cuts impacting the services that they rely on.
Yeah, that's right, Wisdom, particularly childcare. For years, D.C. has offered free childcare to district residents, but considering childcare funding was on the chopping block during the last budget discussion, they worry that the writing is on the wall again this time around. Now, I spoke with a mother of two who says that free childcare is really the only way that some families have been able to afford to live in the district, work in the district, pay taxes in the district, and raise their children in D.C.
I know, for instance, in my family, if we didn't have the PK program, we couldn't have afforded to have 2 children because we couldn't have afforded to pay for my son to go to private pre-K and pay for daycare for my daughter, which would have been impossible. We wouldn't have been able to live in DC and had to move. So that's why this program is really important.
And that's why she's mobilized over 400 families to fight to, quote unquote, keep PKeep, which is what this program is called, even setting up this website with a petition for families to sign. Now, this advocacy started because she and other families received letters like these from their child care providers. It encouraged them to put their kids' names in the lottery system because funding for the community-based organizations is not certain. Now, a spokesperson with the Office of the State Superintendent of Education confirmed that they did suggest this since the lottery deadline is before the final budget will be released. Now, I spoke with a child care provider as well about the ripple effect this could have on stopping funding to the programs that he provides.
I mean, we're talking about economic development, but if we don't have these services for people who live here, we're not going to have that economic development that we're talking about. This is part of the fabric of the city, and if that part of that fabric doesn't exist, the rest just it won't happen. I mean, this will affect families in subsidy as well as families without subsidy.
Now, both the provider and the mom you heard from say if free childcare goes away, likely so will some of the tax base and revenue, which is already being stretched with these federal worker cuts. So this could really trickle down to impact services beyond childcare. Council Chair Phil Mendelson spoke to potential cuts on Monday, saying that since roughly a quarter of the budget is human services, that this will likely be impacted. He did say, though, he does not anticipate childcare funding to completely be eliminated, just likely reduced. Now, tomorrow, OSSE, the Office of State Superintendent of Education, as well as parents like Emma, do plan to testify in front of the D.C. Council during one of these oversight hearings. That starts tomorrow at 9:30. Now, the lottery system that we talked about, if you miss that deadline, you can still submit a post-lottery application. I'll have that info in this story online on WUSA9.com. Wisdom?
All right, Jess Arnold, thank you very much for the updates.